Hey guys, what's up and welcome to a new Tesla update video. So today let's go over the market, see what happened and what we can expect in store for us again, for the rest of the week. I think, what is it, Thursday already. So tomorrow's the last day of the week. Again, this was a shorter week. Maybe that's why it felt a little fast. But nonetheless, let's jump into it. If you guys enjoyed, don't forget to hit that like button. Let's get this party started. Tesla ending the day up pretty much 2%, closing out literally just shy of $290, pretty much ending right at this potential, massive area of resistance. We'll see what happens. Now, the good thing is the fact that Tesla did close higher than this candle even went, which is a decent sign. The fact that it went higher and even closed higher, honestly, is not that bad of a sign, honestly, right? This looks pretty okay for Tesla, but I still personally think that this area that we're in right now, like this pretty much just 290 area, give or take, 1 or 2 points, in theory, should be very big resistance. And I would be pretty surprised if tomorrow, especially of all days being a Friday, is the day that we, I guess, crack through it. It's not impossible, but I personally don't think the risk versus reward, again, not financial advice, make your own decisions. None of this is financial advice. Do your own research, but I'll be surprised if tomorrow of all days is the day that we crack this kind of resistance. Personally, again, obviously it can happen, right? I just don't think the risk versus reward for the bulls in this case, for the short term to go even higher, like pretty much straight from here, is a good bet. But again, you never know, right? However, with that being said and done, pretty much exactly what I predicted yesterday happened to the T, to the absolute T, right? So we pretty much started the day down a little bit, came exactly to where I called it, right? Around this 280 level, retested it successfully. Unfortunately, I slept in, so I missed the entry, which I was extremely sad about. And we didn't really go low enough for me to want to go back in again. So I've been pretty much just not doing anything in terms of trading today. Because this was the entry. I missed it. I slept in. Sometimes it'd be like that. But nonetheless, we pretty much did exactly what I thought. We came down here, went up to 285 at the very minimum. I was saying how I'll be surprised if we don't at least come to 285. We did, got rejected. And then we actually ended up having enough strength to go in further. Then the market pretty much collapsed for a little bit. And then we actually somehow, surprisingly, I'll be honest, I didn't think this would happen. However, we somehow found enough strength to go up even higher, which I am a little bit surprised about, I will admit. But essentially what I predicted yesterday happened exactly. Almost exactly to the T. So that's a good thing, makes you feel good, of course, when that happens. But nonetheless, that's the past. Now we have to figure out what is next in store for us. So again, like I said earlier, personally, I think the risk versus reward for the bulls is not great. It's not even that amazing for the bears. I personally think that we're in a little bit of like, the market needs to essentially find its footing here, as to where we're really going to go next. Again, I wouldn't be too surprised if there's a little bit more upside ahead, but it's like not enough to really play it, in my opinion. And the downside, at least for now, doesn't really seem, too crazy either. So this is an area I would personally stay away from until a more like, concrete level is, I guess, broken. So let's go over the major things that we want to care about here. So we did close actually above the 21 EMO, which is, a good sign, of course. That is a good start. Pretty much tapping the white line of the Bollinger Band, which again, I'm a strong believer. I personally love the Bollinger Band. I think it's great. Obviously, there's times where it's, like this, for instance, where it's just a little weird. But, overall, like assuming we're not pretty much short squeezing, it's a very good indicator, in my opinion. So, the fact that we came back up to it and now we're dancing around it wouldn't surprise me if we get rejected a little bit, maybe come back up again and kind of, consolidate, if you will, for the most part, around this level, give or take. So that's kind of what I would not be surprised to see. The 50 moving average, well below that 200, we're actually getting fairly close to it. At this point, if we break above 290, this is the next major thing, which I will be exceptionally surprised if we break past. So this is why, like, if you're a bull and you want to like trade this to the upside, assuming you're trading, again, if you're a long-term holder, I don't even know why you're here. But, if you're trading this, and you want to trade it to the upside as a bull, you're pretty much betting, on about a 2% move from here, which, isn't that crazy. And the potential fall from here could be easily about 2%, I guess, as well. So it's like a 2%, it's kind of like a limbo. This is why I said it feels like it's in limbo. This is not a place I would personally touch. But moving along anyways, the 10 and the 5, of course, we are well above them now. So the short-term momentum has slowly regained. We did cross the average kind of median, if you will, on the RSI, which is great. The volume today was mediocre, which is not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just a non-factor in this case, in my opinion. But ultimately, I think the easier way to detect or determine, I guess, what's going to happen here is looking at a shorter time frame, which is what we're going to be doing next. However, on the longer time frame, just based on how the daily looks like, I'm personally still overall bearish. Again, this level crossed this right here, right? Where the RSI was all the way over here, back when it was sitting around, again, this 56, 57 level, the RSI, the stock itself was at a lower price point than where we closed today, but the RSI didn't even come up to this level, let alone, touch it. It's lower. even though the stock is higher. That is not a good sign. That's a little bit of a sign of a weakness on the daily, which ultimately to me tells me that the trend overall is still very much down until something else can be proven otherwise. But for now, I'm still convinced the trend is down. So we'll see how that goes, guys. But let's go to the slightly shorter time frame. This will give us a slightly better idea as to what we can potentially expect coming over for the maybe tomorrow, maybe the majority-ish of next week. So ultimately, what I personally believe is the fact that we are kind of playing in this potential bear flag. Of course, we'll see how it goes, but we are, in my opinion, playing this bear flag. This was a bit of a false breakdown, but overall, it does feel like we are in this little bear flag, right? We have like a major move down, and then we have a bit of a bear flag. So I personally expect major resistance around this level. If we can break past 290, then 295 is the next level I'll be watching for the 200 moving average, right? Another thing to keep in mind is the RSI did make a slightly lower low, even though the stock made a slightly higher high. So it is slowly starting to show a little bit of weakness, and it's starting to show that the steam is slowly starting to run out, right? So that's why I would not be surprised if at this point, maybe tomorrow we consolidate or it's a red day. I personally think it'll be one of the two. Obviously, there's still a chance it's a green day and we just rally right up to 295. I would personally give that like a 15%-ish probability, but I'm much more leaning towards either consolidation or red, just simply red. Now the question is if it is red, where do we go, right? Where do we go? Where is the red going to lead us to? The first level to watch out for now, of course, is going to be this 285-ish to 286 level, because, well, we broke past it. Now, similar to what happened here, I kind of want to see the same thing happen here, where we come back down to this 285, 286 level, retest to confirm, and see what happens from there. I personally believe that even if we do bounce from it, we're not going to go much higher, and we're probably just going to consolidate between this like 290 to 285 level tomorrow. And then ultimately, I do believe that we will break down below this. That's just my belief. Again, I could be very well wrong, but that is what I'm currently expecting to happen. On the 15-minute chart, a better example of what I talked about earlier of a potential bearish divergence setting up, where you can see see how over here where the RSI was sitting at around 71, 72 when the stock was all the way down here. And even though the stock did go higher here, the RSI did go higher as well, not like substantially higher, relative to this move, of course, to the actual share price, but it did go higher, which is, ultimately still showing me that there is potentially, still signs that it's not that bad. However, when we came lower over here, the RSI went lower than this level over here back when the stock rested at 277, even though this was sitting around 283. That's a bearish divergence setting up. And now we made a higher high in the stock price, but the RSI on the 15-minute made a lower high. Again, another form of bearish divergence setting up. To me, that is overall bearish. It means that steam is running out, at least for now, and that there is potentially red ahead of us. Whether it's tomorrow, whether it's Monday, pretty much within the next like couple trading days. And I would be surprised if we have much more strength to go that much higher. So again, that's kind of what I'm expecting at the very moment. So it's hard to tell here, guys. Again, my personal opinion, not financial advice, is the fact that ultimately we're just in this bear flag. We're probably going to fall out of it pretty soon. And then I don't think that the risk versus reward is all that great for the bulls or the bears here. I would personally be waiting for some form of level to break. For instance, if you're a bear, what you can do, not financial advice, make your own decisions, but you can enter puts around this level. And if 290 breaks, you can stop loss it there, or you can wait until it breaks out of this bear flag to the south side and then enter puts there, either on the breakdown, or when it breaks down, bounces off here, probably retests and goes down as well, right? So for instance, something like that, right? So you can enter like right here, or you can enter right here. This is riskier, this is slightly safer, right? That's just an example, of course. Do what you want to do, it's your money, right? You guys, I'm sure, can figure that out yourselves. But yeah, ultimately that's kind of what I'm seeing. Again, personally think if I had to pick, it is slightly favoring the bears. However, I still wouldn't put too much weight on it just yet either until a major level breaks, whether it's 290 breaks to the upside for the bulls, to which you can, I guess, play until 295. And I would be very surprised if it goes farther than that. But the bears essentially want it to not go above 290, and especially not 295, and then essentially fall down to the bottom part of this bear flag, and then ultimately a collapse beneath this bottom part of this bear flag. So that's essentially what I'm seeing. Let me know what you guys think down below. So far, we've been doing quite well, actually, in the predicting the moves recently. I am just extremely upset that I slept in today and missed this move. I would have entered puts, sold puts, which is a bullish position right here. Unfortunately, I did miss it. So that's a few $100s that I missed out on gains, but it is what it is. On to the next one. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think down below, and I'll see you for the next one. Peace.